Let's have a first look at the new Aston Martin AMR21. The first car after the transition to the Aston Martin Works team is basically an evolution of last year's car, and there are a few interesting changes that we can discuss. First of all, the Silverstone team went back to high side pod inlets again, and there is a story behind it. Ferrari came up with the concept of high side pod inlets at the beginning of the 2017 season. The idea was to position the side pod inlets as high as possible to be able to guide as much flow as possible through the undercut area to the rear of the car. There are two side impact tubes either side of the chassis. The lower one is hidden in the floor leading edge, the upper one can be positioned in a certain Z window. If you want a low inlet, you need the crash element in a high position. If you want a high inlet, you have to move the element to the lower position. It was a clever idea and it couldn't be copied by other teams during the season because you need a new chassis for it. So during 2017, almost every team was working on high side pod inlets for the 2018 season. Also Force India was working on this concept, but when John Todd decided after the summer break 2017 to force teams to use a halo from 2018, all development work had to be thrown to the halo and chassis development. So the VJM11 in 2018 still had conventional side pod inlets. Then the team was working on high inlets for the 2019 season again, and the RP19 was finally presented with them. But during the 2019 season, Racing Point decided to catch up with the competition by copying the fastest car, the 2019 Mercedes. For the 2019 season, new front wing regulations were introduced, which prohibited the upper furniture. These elements created a strong outwash to push the front rear wake away from the downstream elements, and now they were not there anymore. Some teams tried the offloaded front wing to create some outwash in front of the front wheels, but Mercedes had another idea. They introduced a low side pod design with a low side pod inlet. The idea was to increase blockage and to increase higher pressure in this region to support the barge board area to push the front rear wake outboard. During the 2019 season, they could improve the performance of the barge board area, so in 2020 they introduced a high side pod inlet. But parallel to that, Racing Point presented their copy of the 2019 Mercedes, which had the low inlets again. And now they finally have the high inlets in 2021. That was the story of Racing Point side pods, and now let's have a look at other parts. Aston Martin is using the same drivetrain as Mercedes, and they also designed the bodywork with the same blister concept like Mercedes. But we can see that their priorities are a bit different. The side pods on the Aston are a bit bigger and create less downwash. As customer team, you have to work with the cooling requirements you get from your engine supplier, and the lower your budget is, the higher your safety factor is. Aston designed a bodywork in the traditional way, we could say. They slimmed the upper part down as much as possible, even more than Mercedes, and dragged the flow further down than other teams. This is what teams did in the previous years, and you do this to pull high energy flow down towards the rear and to generate more downforce. But the general development trend with the new flow regulation this year is to push the rear exit further up to keep the area below as clean as possible. So other teams like Mercedes or Red Bull concentrated more on the lower rear area. Maybe we will see an update bodywork from Aston where they will change the rear area. But new bodyworks are a lot of work because there are many parts involved and teams want to fully concentrate on 2022 from now on. All in all, it's a great and fast-looking car, and with all the positive changes in the team, this can be a really good season for them. How do you like the new Aston Martin Formula One car? Let me know in the comments below.